some of this stuff.
Woohoo! All right. This is so exciting. So exciting. I think we're actually here.
Yeah.
Like, we are totally here. So I'm here with one of my favorite people on the planet, Michelle Cunningham. And if you don't know Michelle, you're living under a rock, basically, because she's everywhere. So Michelle is a marketing and branding expert and serves so many entrepreneurs all around the world. Michelle, thanks so much for being here with me.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, it's such a gift. Like, I love you so much. This is so fun. Congrats on your book too. It looks so good.
Thank you. So yes, today is the day where it all rolls out. And it is, you've written a book and you're in the midst of writing a second one.
Yeah.
I will share with you that writing a book was definitely something that I had wanted to do for a while. I didn't quite know what to expect. I found the process to be very rewarding, though, very cathartic almost. Tell me about your book writing experiences and what those have been like.
Yeah. Well, I'm one of those people, I don't like to waste a lot of time on stuff. I like to just get it done right away. So I get an idea. So like my book, very impulsively, I was like, someone taught me, this is like key for anyone to know. It's like, if you want to write a book, you need 25,000 words. That gives it a spine on your book. So like, that was the only piece of information I needed. I'm like, okay, 25,000 words. I'm like, I wonder how fast I could type 1,000 words. So I remember like going into my room and I just started typing. I was like telling my story, right? And after an hour, I was at 1,000 words. I'm like, stop it. I just need 25 more hours. So I remember going to my husband and being like, hi, it's super random, but I'm trying to write a book. He's like, you? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, so, okay. I was like, so I was thinking instead of me like taking like 3 years to do it, I could like go to a hotel tonight and tomorrow and then come back and the book would be written and you would never have to hear about the book again. He's like, go for it. And I was like, okay. And I was like, you just said yes, like leave. Cause I had like little kids at the time. They're now 9 and 12. And so literally, I'm not kidding. I wrote this. Thursday night was 1,000 words, right? We got to the hotel Friday, Saturday, and I came home. I think I came home late Saturday night because I missed my kids. Like, but I stayed in my hotel room till like late, and then I finished it up on Sunday. So, and I was worried because I'm like, oh shoot, I wrote it so fast. What if it's bad, right? And luckily, people liked it. But my rule was like, okay, well, I'm not an author and I'm writing a book. So for any of you that are like, I don't know if I should write a book, I'm like, yeah, I felt the same way. And then I was like, well, just in case no one likes it, I'll just delete it off of Amazon.
Well, there you go.
That's my plan. So I was like, okay, worst case scenario, we delete it off Amazon. We're exactly where we started, right? Or best case scenario, it actually changes some people's lives and they like it. And so this book has done a lot of revenue on Amazon and over $1 million in a book funnel. And so books are crazy, the opportunity. So I'm so excited for you because your book is going to open up podcasts you can get on. Just you're like, I have a book. Like, okay, come on my podcast. I mean, it's crazy. Just all the opportunities.
Yeah. It's been an interesting experience because, I'm in the world of short-term rentals and I help women. Traditionally in the past, I've helped women launch, manage, and grow profitable short-term rental businesses. This book has not a thing to do with short-term rentals, right? So I wrote about my entrepreneurial journey. And I really write about not only how to scale a business, but also master your mindset. Because in my personal experience, mindset has played a really huge role for me in being able to unlock opportunities in my life. I'm just curious, tell me about your entrepreneurial journey. Have you ever delved into the world of mindset and what did that look like for you?
Yeah, I think, my journey started. I was a shy introvert from humble beginnings. My mom was a single mom. I come from nothing, right? It's like we had no money. I wanted Pantene shampoo as a kid. So like, just to put it in perspective, like, just had very little money, but had a dream. Like I was like, man, I feel like I want more money. Cause I remember at 6 years old going to the ATM and it not having enough money that we could take it out. Like it was like stuck in there. And I was like, Mom, let's just like go inside and ask for the money. Like I literally write about that in my book. And what was interesting is because of that, I just felt less than those around me and carried that with me for many, many years. But I once I got involved in, I took a job as a pharmaceutical sales rep. Then at 29 years old, I became a network marketer. I was selling skincare and makeup products. which is a really hard job. And like you had to really put yourself out there. And I was like, you know what? I'm going to give it 6 months. And if it doesn't work, I had to deal with my boyfriend at the time, who's now my husband. If it doesn't work after 6 months, I have got to go get a real job, because I had a real job, but I decided, I'm like, give me 6 months. I'm going to make this thing work. And it was an interesting time, because it was the first time that I was like, I'm going to do this. And I'd never really done that in life, where I was like, I'm going to go for this. I'm going to like make it happen no matter what. They said if you work for 1 year like nobody does, you can live for the rest of your life like nobody can. And so that year at 29 years old was kind of my year of like discovering, like, wait, I actually can be a little bit bolder and like go for my dreams, and like I can accomplish things. And so in that year of like making less than I've ever made, but like growing my business, and I earned a free car, and then like having success, I was like, dude, maybe I am like worthy of more, like maybe I deserve more. And then that started to teach it to my team. They started to have success. So that took off. And then people kept asking me how we were winning. And I was like, okay, I can't answer all these questions. So I started a YouTube channel. That's how it started. And then that kind of built my confidence, because I'm like, no way, people like me. they, they
How
think
can
I'm
anybody
helpful.
not like you, Michelle?
Well, but you don't, when you grow up feeling like you're less than those around you, you can't kind of carry that with you, right? So when people are like, man, I really like you, I'm like, you do? Okay, tell me again. No, I'm just kidding. But I was really honored, right? And excited. And I was like, okay, I have like 3 followers on YouTube. Like, I can't let them down. Like, Sally was like, hey, when's your next video coming out? I'm like, okay, Sally, I got you. Like, come out next week, right? And I just got really obsessed with just helping people. And I think if your journey is all about helping people and not worrying about making
Mhm.
money, it's just so rewarding, right? That was my whole journey. And for many years, I just made free YouTube videos because I had no idea how to make money with it. And it
Yeah.
wasn't until 2019 that I finally figured out how to actually sell something. But I think I had that channel for like 2009 or 2000, like a long time, like 7 or 8 years before that, not making any money. So, but it was a journey to building my
Yeah.
confidence, right?
Yeah.
And I think you have to go through hard times to get stronger. And yeah, that's a big part of it. And that's such a gift, right? It's like the school of hard knocks. You just
Oh,
got to
sure.
do
Sure.
hard things, and you're like, okay, got through that really challenging conversation. Okay,
Yeah.
I can handle that if it happens again. So I'd say welcome every single hard thing that happens, because that's what makes you so much stronger. Like, I feel like I have a shield around me now, where I'm like, yeah, nothing could really knock me down. But you can't get that until you do it, right?
Amen. Amen. I think there's obviously so much that we can learn from a strategy perspective in business or in life. But until we actually walk the walk, it is difficult, right, for people to have that level of transformation. So good. I'm curious. One of the things I write about in my book is the Live Big framework, which is boss up your business. So make sure that your behaviors are aligned with your outcomes, and you use strategy, skills, and systems to do that. I'm curious if you don't mind sharing, in your own business, what is a key strategy that you feel like has made the biggest impact for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's probably 2 things. Number 1 is I don't overthink things, right? Like, I'm very almost impulsive, where I'm like, I should write a book. Okay, yeah, let's just like do that tonight, right? Whereas people will think and think and think. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, my second book, I started to write, and then I got stuck and put it away for 2 years, and finally pulled it back out. I just ran out of time to I just wasn't focused on it really. But for the most part, like when I get an idea, I'm like, let's run with it, right? So every 6 weeks, I've got some sort of new thing I'm launching or new thing I'm putting out into the world. Then that's what's built my business pretty big, is being a bit more impulsive. Sometimes my students will be like, I'm still thinking about what to name my YouTube channel. I'm like, I never thought about that. I just called it my name and went on to the next box. Like, they're
Mhm.
really just like, whatever, I'll change the name if I don't like Michelle Cunningham as the name, but that seems like a pretty solid idea for my. So I just don't overthink things. I think that's the biggest one. And then I recover quickly, right? So I'm
Mhm.
really good at forgetting what's bothering me, which is, I don't know if that's a problem with my brain, but it's fabulous. So like, I'll be like, oh, something's really bothering me. And then I'm like, what? That thinking about that is not serving me. Like, just forget it. And then I'll forget. And then I'll be like, what was I thinking about? I'm like, I don't even know. Let's just build something. And then I go back into, and that's just such a gift. If you can do that, then you stop caring. You don't care about what people think. You don't care about problems that you're having. You might have drama in your world. Yeah, whatever. Just let it go. And then get back to creating for your people or doing your thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would say those are the 2.
I love that. I think worry is one of the biggest um things that we can do to not serve ourselves and serve other people. I know so many people that, I mean, even some of my family members, they're like, oh, I'm really worried about X, Y, and Z. Well, what if that happens? What if this happens? And I'm thinking, you are wasting so much energy on things that, number one, will probably never happen,
Yeah.
right? And there's nothing wrong with having a plan B or knowing, okay, this is what I want to have, have set out for my future. And if it doesn't occur, then I'll shift or I'll pivot. There's nothing wrong with pivots, but
Yeah.
I think worrying is something that is toxic personally.
Yep.
I don't worry. I don't worry about anything. Now, I do have plans for things and I do make pivots for sure, but I don't spend any energy worrying
Yeah. Yep. I agree.
for sure. I'm curious, you work with so many entrepreneurs. What is a common skill you see that they struggle with the most?
Yeah. It's potentially like they either don't believe in themselves, right? Right. This like lack of belief that I can do it.
Mhm.
I'd say that's probably the most common one, right? And it's, I tell people that, the difference between someone who's succeeding in business and someone who's not succeeding in business, or someone who's showing up as an authority and someone who's not, is that the person who decided to go for it and show up as an authority, they made a decision. And
Yep.
like, I just remember hearing that one day and being like, okay, so like you mean they just planted their leader flag and they're like, boom, here I am. And I'm like, I could do that. Okay. And like, I remember that with my first, whatever it is you create, whatever it is you do. Like if you get into real estate or you get whatever you do, but like mine was making my first YouTube channel. And I'm like,
Mhm.
oh, I'm not really, not really qualified to be here because I don't really know, but I know how to talk. And I've been watching other people talk and they can talk. And I found a chick that has brown hair like me that can talk. And if she's doing that, then maybe I'm qualified. So I
Mhm.
was like, okay, I can start a YouTube channel because I have brown hair and I can talk. So I remember starting my first channel and just being like, hi guys, in today's video, we're going to be talking all about video. And then I was like, whew, okay. Whew, and I was so nervous, but I just like did it. I pretended I was really confident.
Yep.
And so that's how I started. Right. And I give you permission to do the same.
Mhm.
Just show up and be like super awkward, but no one has to know. And you can edit that part out. I love to keep my camera running the whole time. And then I just chop the best parts and then I look really good. So you can make yourself look really intelligent in videos, just chopping out the stuff that was kind of dumb. So it's
That's
great.
hilarious. Yeah, that's so I do talk about that in Live Big as well. Commit, be, do. A lot of people operate by this have, do, be framework. Like I have to have a certain level of
Mm,
success in order to do the things that a successful person does, and then I can be successful. And
yeah.
I think it's just completely the opposite where I talk about CBD. I have a whole chapter on that, but CBD, I'm not talking about marijuana or
Like the oil.
anything to like relax your muscles, but commit to what you want to accomplish. Like, and don't try. It's you're committing. You made a decision. You're committing to it with unwavering commitment, not like, oh, if it happens, that would be great. No, you are committing to it like you're committing to parenthood when you're pregnant. I mean,
Yeah.
you don't have a choice, right? And then just be that person. If you don't know how to be that person, just act as if you know how to be that person and then do the things that person does. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
simple, but yet so difficult for so many folks. Um, I'm it's really interesting to hear you say that you see that a lot as well.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, another question I have for you, because you have built not only $1 million brand, but several $1 million brands. What's one system or routine or habit that you rely on most in your business?
Yeah, I schedule the things that are super important. Right. So just
Mhm,
like we schedule time to go get our hair done, right? I don't know if people schedule nail appointments, but I try to, right? So I can get my person, right?
mhm,
But we don't typically miss those, right? And so I think if there's something that's really important that's going to move your business forward, schedule that in, right?
mhm.
Like this Thursday, like I feel like lately I've been like, oh, not creating content all the time. And I'm like, okay, enough's enough. You're a content creator. People find you from the content you make, Michelle. So I know that that's what you're saying, but listen, no more. Okay. So on Thursday, I messaged my friend in the neighborhood and I said, hey, on Thursday from 11 to 2, could you come with me and we can go like downtown and you can just like hold the camera and help me film because then I won't feel awkward in front of random people. She's like, totally. I'm like, cool. I'll give you $25 an hour. Right. But I've scheduled it in, right? Because I'm not doing it. And so, okay, cool. Let's whatever we're not doing that's going to take us closer to our goal. How do we get it scheduled in and maybe even lock it in with a friend, right? Like for me, creating content, sometimes I just like to have a buddy around.
Mhm.
And so, I also have appointments with like my team and I have appointments, like I'm creating a new course right now, my new book, like that stuff is scheduled in when I need to work on it so that the stuff gets done.
Yeah.
So that's the biggest thing. It's kind of time blocking, but I'm also a very much an entrepreneur that doesn't like to be told what to do. I don't even like to tell myself what to do. So I allow plenty of free time, right? Like I always have all morning till 11 a.m. totally free to do whatever so that I can do whatever I want and I feel that freedom. And then I have all afternoon after 3 o'clock, totally free all the way into the evening to do whatever I want, right? Do I work in there sometimes? Sure, but it doesn't feel like work because it's free
Fun.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I tell people I work 11 to 3, which is maybe not totally true. I probably do like little, I post an Instagram here and there, but it doesn't feel like working because it's not working hours.
Mhm. Mhm.
Yeah.
For sure. For sure. Okay, so I know the topic of your next book is about you can be $1 million brand. Anyone can be $1 million brand. Tell us a little bit about that and some of the philosophies you might share.
Yeah, I mean, really, I mean, it's I always say I talk in a 5th grade language. I don't even know big words, you guys. I grew up incredibly poor, came from humble beginnings. I was a chick that had like no awesome outfit on the first day of school and I had a ripped backpack. Like I don't, I come from very little. Evidence that like, dude, it doesn't matter where you started, right? But if you decide to go for it and you decide to show up, for me, the way that people started to find me was I had the audacity to start filming videos. That was it. I started filming videos. Like if I always say if video was like a person you could hug, like I would hug video for the impact it's had in my life, right? By showing
Mhm.
up, that's how I get to meet my amazing friends. Like you and I, amazing friends, wouldn't have happened if I wasn't on video. And the
True.
cool thing about video is it attracts to you the exact people that love you. Right? And I don't know about you, but in high school, we had 45 kids in my graduating class. Not a lot of people there, right? So you had like bad kids, popular kids, and the theater kids. And like, there's not a lot of people there, right? So I don't even know if there was one that was, well, maybe there was one that was really on my same page with like wanting to do more. But you don't get that in your high school. You may
Mhm.
find it in your college, but when you're online, it's like a magnet bringing all the awesome people to you. And so I get to connect with the most amazing people. And then I host retreats and I get to meet them in person, like you and I met.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh man, you're so awesome. Like, how did this happen? Like, so cool. But it's all because of video. And so you might say, well, you don't understand. I'm a little weird. I'm like, yeah, me too. Like, I'm a little quirky. I'm a little weird. I'm not totally professional all the time. I'm just kind of who I am. But there's that message resonates with some people, whereas other people online are super buttoned up. They're like, hello, great to be here today. We're going to be talking, like you're like, do you have a personality? But if you just let yourself shine, and I love to follow people like Gary Vaynerchuk is just nuts. Like,
Mhm.
and those kinds of people, they give me permission to just be who we are, right?
Yeah.
I also like to follow Jesse Itzler. I don't know if I say his wife is the founder of Spanx, but I love to follow his Instagram because he's just crazy. He'll film videos like this. Yo, you guys, what's going on? And he's like, his face is moving everywhere. He doesn't have a microphone. It's just a big mess, but it's fabulous because it's so authentic, right? And
Yeah.
authenticity is what sells. And people trust your true, authentic voice. So when you can be who you are in front of your best friend or in front of your mom and use that same exact voice and not be like weird and different, which I was definitely weird and different in the beginning. I have a high pitched voice that I do when I'm uncomfortable, which was, hi guys, it's Michelle. And in today's video, I'm going to be, it was like, my mom was like, why are you talking like that? And I was like, because that's my nice voice. And she's like, what do you sound like a weirdo? And I'm like, no, that's my nice voice, mom. So it was actually good advice because she's like, you sound like a weirdo because it wasn't me. Right. And women especially can sniff that out. Like, something's off here. Why
Mhm.
are you talking like that?
Mhm.
Are you hiding something? So just really being genuinely you is kind of the secret, which is so crazy. But video was the biggest thing that changed my whole life. You don't even have to have a plan. I started to show up, served a certain audience, but then doors and opportunities started to open. I had a CEO. That's what changed everything for me. Is I had my YouTube channel for many years, a CEO. When I started my channel, it was network marketing advice because I was a network marketer, direct
Mhm.
seller. And a CEO reached out to me and said, our sales reps love you and they'd love for you to come out and speak for our company event. We'd love to pay you. And as I'm hanging up the phone with him, this was the key thing that changed my whole life, literally. He's hanging up and I'm trying to act professional because I'm talking to a CEO, which is a big deal for me at that time, right? And as he's hanging up, he's like, yeah, oh, and just bring along your training program. You can sell it at the event. And me, in a moment of just like being professional, I'm like, absolutely. Okay, bye. And I hang up. I'm like, absolutely. You don't have a training program, you idiot. So then I'm like, now I got to make, what am I doing with my life? So I literally ended up making these CDs. So it was my first digital product I ever created, right? I made 3 of these and I brought them along to the event and I sold them. I bought them for $1, sold them for 17. And that began my journey to creating digital products. And people bought these from me and then emailed me and messaged me and said, thank you. Oh my gosh, you changed my life. And I was like, come on, tell me more. No, like, but I was like, so this started it, right? And then I learned how to run more traffic to this. And then this is how I ended up selling millions and millions of dollars of digital products. But it all started with that guy being like, bring along your training program. And I was like, oh no, now we have to level up because I accidentally lied. So it's crazy.
I want to actually point out something though that is, I feel like, really important. So when you hung up the phone and said, "Oh my gosh, what am I doing? I don't have digital products." A lot of people might retreat back to, "Oh shoot, I'm not supposed to do this. Like I don't have what they need, so I'm going to call them and say, "Hey, listen, I can't come." Right? So when you step outside of your comfort zone, a lot of people move into the fear zone, but they don't know how to push through that fear. Was there something or someone that helped you kind of push through that fear, or were you just committed and saying, "I'm going for it"?
Yeah, I think I learned a lot of that being in network marketing and direct sales. Was just kind of like if a door opens, just like go for it, right? Like just say yes, right? And so that was a moment where I was like, okay, we're gonna just do this. We're gonna go and I'll get a thing created. Like super scary, all of it. You know, you're like, what if it's terrible? What if people hate me? What if it's awful? What if no one buys it? I'm like, great, you're back exactly where you are right now. What even matters if it doesn't work? You're
Right.
exactly where you are. Right. And so when I started to think of things like that, like okay, if it doesn't work, what happens? You're in the same exact spot. Might as well take the risk. Right. So I think I started to think along those lines. And I was
Mhm.
like, yeah, let's just go for it. I don't know. Even if I make an extra $200, cool. That'd be awesome. Right. So yeah, I would say lean into those moments because doors and opportunities start to open for you. And you're like, oh, I'm not qualified for that. I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'll just pretend I am. Right. And I still feel that way, where people invite me on to speak. I'm like, come on, I'm just a regular girl. Why are you right? But I still feel that, and I'm like, yeah, just do it anyway. Just in my that's the title of my book was Do It
Mhm.
Anyway, Girl, right? This idea that
Mhm.
like even if you feel unqualified, even if you don't know what you're doing, even if you're like, I'm kind of dumb, or like all the weird things we say in our brain, just do it anyway, girl. Who cares, right? Kind of that message.
Yeah. I love that. And I read your book, and I'm not in network marketing, and I absolutely gleaned stuff that I can apply in my own business to what you write about in that. So I love the concept of do it anyway, because it's the same exact mantra where you're pushing through things that maybe feel uncomfortable, right?
Yep, totally.
So good. So good. I want to ask you one other question, because I was actually at one of your retreats, at a beach retreat. I have had my own beach retreat. We're getting ready to go to Mexico for our second Live Big beach retreat.
So fun.
Oh my gosh, it's life-changing. It is amazing. I am curious, how have those in-person connections helped you not only serve your audience in a different way, how what have you seen flourish from those retreats?
Yeah, I think there's a few things. Number one, it's like super cool to meet people that you've met online only in person. Like you forget you're attracting people with a similar personality. So like I'm very like, hey, bye, and I give hugs and like everyone that walks through the door is kind of like that. I'm like, whoa, you're crazy too. And they're like, yeah, because I like you. And I'm like, no way. Okay, that's whoa, I didn't really think of that, but that's awesome, right? So like I attract kind of even like the emergency room doctor who walked through the door. She's like, and I'm like, you're crazy. She's like, oh yeah, the doctors don't like me. I'm the crazy one. Right. Like multiple doctors that have come, they're nuts, in a good way. The number one, she was a lawyer, number one lawyer in Arkansas. She's nuts, literally so fun. I always tell her, Catherine, you are so fun. Right. So that's been a cool thing, is to get to meet people in real life. But the biggest thing has been watching people come to that event, and then, you're in these conversations with bigger thinkers, right? You
Mhm.
become like the 5 people you spend the most time with, and so they're like, "Wait, hold on, that's possible for me? Like, you're making that much money and you're making that much impact and you're doing it that way? Like, never thought I could do that." And so people will leave, and I mean, I've seen girls go from barely being able to afford to come to that event, which is thousands of dollars to come to making $38,000 a month and being like, "You changed my life." Like, I started believing bigger. It changed the way I thought. It changed everything. And I realized, like, I could do this because you guys are all regular people that did it. Right. And I think they see, I'm a little wrinkles under my eyes here and I'm just a regular person, pretty regular, and they are like, wow, I think I could do that because I'm regular too. I'm like, yep, you could. And so, that's cool to see is and people have major transformations there. Like, they might shift their industry when they're there. Like, oh, I thought I was going to do this, but then I realized all these entrepreneurs here could use my help because they don't know how to do this thing. So I've
Yeah,
seen several people switch industries and help a ton of people, which is pretty cool. So
that's
it's
so
pretty awesome.
fun.
I
That's so
gotta
fun.
I have to go. I have to be on another live right now.
You go, girl. Thank you so much for being here.
I love you.
So
Do you need
fun.
anything else from me before I go?
No, but thank
Okay.
you. I love you, and I love your nail color too.
Oh, thanks. I gotta go get them done today. They're starting to grow out. I'm so
Mine
crazy.
are atrocious. I
I
need
know.
mine done
Yeah,
horribly.
they actually look good on camera, but if you
They
get up
do.
close, it's a little like, okay, anyway, I gotta promote your book, so I'll connect with you and send it
All right.
everywhere today.
All right.
I
Love you,
love
girl.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, friend.
Yeah. Bye.